I absolutely loved it. It was really great. I'm still processing it. I feel really hyper aware of everything right now. It was a really meaningful experience.
At times, I found it a little eerie, but relaxing, if that makes any sense. I really liked how it kind of separated you from the meaning of words and tried to make you look at them abstractly. And yeah, it kind of felt like a funeral for words.
Well, I thought it was obviously very unique, and it became more and more intimate. And it's kind of like it was very big, and then it got smaller and smaller and smaller in parts, and you just felt like you were in this space, and I kind of lost sense that I was in a library surrounded by people, which was very interesting. And then at the end, when you just kind of come back, it is like coming back to reality, coming back into, that space that you started from.
Art pieces usually demand a lot of focus from you, and sometimes I find it challenging to bring my whole self to what they're trying to say, but I always love it when I can get something out of it. And what I liked about Quiet Volume was that there was a blending of, you would hear a voice in your ears, but then it would fade away and you would be reading, and it would the text would call you out that the voice you hear in your head when you read is different than the voice that was reading to you, but it was a gradient. So it really played with the way that our brains work as far as the way we absorb information and what we don't notice about the way we absorb information. It was really thought-provoking.
It was very sensory and overwhelming, and I felt like someone snuck inside of my head and took over my body.
Very provocative. I liked it. Made me think a lot. Calmed me down.
It's actually my second time seeing it, and I came back and brought because even though I spend most of my time reading, this piece gave me the impression that I was learning to read again from scratch. It really kind of arrested my brain in the process of reading, and it's sort of very exciting to suddenly relate to text in this new way through this kind of living theatre that's made up of a real human environment, and will never be the same twice over, for any two different pairs of people.
It's really interesting playing with the boundaries around behaviour in space, and the fact that everyone's the way it opens with everyone not being silent kind of goes on from there. I mean, reading is this solitary activity, but it's also a communal one, and it's a very visually uninteresting activity until you kind of look at it in a slightly different way. And those sort of transgressions I thought were interesting.
I thought it was pretty cool the way it was set up, and that it seemed like I was looking at myself, kind of, and it made me feel pretty awful, that we use this technology and these people are being damaged on our behalf in some ways. And it was so sad, how he had to hide how ill he was, So I was pretty moved.
I thought it was really interesting, technology-wise. It was disturbing and intense for me personally, because I have family in China that, they also live in a farming village, and they have all these sort of stigmas of being really perfect people, and it's really intense.
It was very interesting. There's lots of information we were not aware of. We are extremely jet-lagged at the moment because we've just flown 20 hours, so it's sort of like went hand in hand with a worker who's been cleaning iPhone screens for 10 hours. So I was about to keel over actually in a moment, but no, very, very good. I like the overlay between your field of eyes with the projection and sort of change of identity. Worked really well. Really nice piece.